that was not how you clear your throat. Okay, that's more realistic. What is going on? How's everybody doing? It's the ghost of the internet, the one and only loser, Sir Neville's first of his name. Yeah. Quick disclaimer. Yeah, I guess I'm gonna go by Sir Neville's now. I'm obsessed with. I don't know why I'm doing it. Little quick background. I love Game of Thrones. I watched this movie called The Last Duel. Really enjoyed that, and I think I really like knights a lot. And I think my name kind of goes well with a knight. I know you use your first and last name when doing a sir, but yeah, that's my knight now over the internet. That's kind of when I say it out loud, it sounds really corny. Anyway, off topic. What's going on? It's your boy Sir Neville's back on the same BS I've been on since day one of me being on the internet. Talking about bullcrap. And today we are talking about Guardians of the Galaxy for the PS5. Game was developed by Adios Montreal, and it was published by Square Enix. Now, really quick, before I even get into talking about this game, so when I first seen Guardians of the Galaxy, actually when we all first seen Guardians of the Galaxy, it was at this year's E3 at the Square Enix presentation. And the one thing I will say about this game is it looked extremely mid. It looked like nothing special. I mean, let's be honest. Like, kind of looked like a arcade superhero game, kind of. I mean, there was nothing that really stood out. I mean, there's a lot of red flags with it, to be honest. Just playing as Star-Lord instead of the whole Guardians of the Galaxy. Immediate red flag. The first thing that brought up, I was like, why do you just play? It's a team and you just play as Star-Lord. That's kind of like it immediately pissed me off. And then what else we got? I mean, the fact that Square Enix was publishing it, that was a red flag because the last Marvel game they helped publish and helped make turned out to be the Avengers, which is a game of service game, which I feel they really dropped the ball with that. I mean, depends. I'm hearing now that it's actually doing pretty well, but for the when the game first dropped, it wasn't hitting like that. I mean, for such a big IP, that game should have been crazy, and they kind of messed it up. It really the biggest thing was that the game just felt unnecessary. It felt unnecessary. It felt like no one asked for it. It kind of felt like they showed Guardians of the Galaxy, and you're kind of just like, okay, like cool, like on to the next one. Like, why is this even a thing? It was weird. But one thing I will say is that before the game released, I started getting different. Like my outlook on the game started becoming different. First of all, they released some gameplay of the game before it came out. Like it was like a little early snippet of the game. I don't know if it was IGN first. I can't remember where I saw it, but the gameplay was looking like, okay, wow, this game don't look horrible. Lock on aim, that's kind of, I feel lock on aim's a little outdated unless you're Grand Theft Auto. Lock on aim felt a little outdated. And also, I don't know, like some things just felt outdated, but at the same time, wasn't horrible. And then when the embargo lift on it, the reviews came out. And I would watch reviews and the game was getting kind of praised. So I was like, what? I was like, this game cannot be good. And then, you know what? I was like, you know what? I don't have a game. I really haven't played a game on this channel on my PS5 yet. I secured the bag, got me a PS5, but I got a bunch of games. I've been too busy playing my PC. I still haven't even touched my PS5. So I was like, I'm going to buy the game for the PS5. And I'll make this the first game I run through on the PS5. Whatever. It's a Marvel game. I like Guardians of the Galaxy a lot, to be honest. Love the movies. And when I say I was 112% surprised while playing this game. Now, I'll keep it. Listen, this is a very unique game because I have never, ever seen a game, at least, or movie, false advertised, to be a positive thing in the end. Like, this really does show you the power of marketing. Like, you really should put money or make sure your marketing is just better because this game was, it was not for reviews and people just giving this game a shot, this game would have got slept on heavy because it just didn't look good. But I mean, quick spoiler for the review I'm mentioning right now. This game is absolutely incredible, and it honestly might be my game of the year. And I'm gonna get into that. I'm getting into that. First of all, one thing I would say, the game, in my opinion, looks absolutely incredible. It looks great, and I played the game on the PS5. I know some people are playing this game on 3080 Ti's and 3090s, going crazy with. But this game for the PS5, running in performance mode, with the higher refresh rate, this game looks great. The characters look excellent with their variety of costumes, different environments and worlds. You travel to a lot of worlds in this game, and they're great looking to me. I mean, they feel different, they look different, different enemies, and like they look, yeah, they kind of, what I'm saying. It's a very linear, which is one thing I kind of miss after doing so many, semi-open world games or hub worlds. Which I guess this game does have a hub world, which is the Mantis, which is the ship. That's kind of a hub world, but really, just this game is just beat for beat, chapter for chapter, single player game, and the different worlds you visit actually look really good. Like the game. Listen, and the voice acting of the game looks great. Looks great. Sounds excellent. The voice acting in the game is voice acted very well, and the facial animations were pretty good. I mean, it's just an overall nice looking game. It's over the shoulder too. It's way more cinematic than I thought it was gonna be. That was like probably my biggest surprise with the game is how cinematic it was. Like I thought it was gonna be like kind of like a arcadey like type game. I didn't know. What I expected was just not this. Way more cinematic than you would imagine playing this game. But let's get into something that most pleasantly surprised me, and that's the story of the game. I mean, the story of the game is where I think many people were shocked the most because I feel like superhero games, like they have good stories, like especially the Arkham series, good story. Spider-Man, the Spider-Man series, the Insomniac Spider-Man had a good story, but it's only a couple games I feel like you can count on one hand that have like really good stories that are superhero games. But like this game is not one of them. Okay, obviously you play as Peter Quill, as a teenager and as a grown man, and you come in basically like they put you in a setting like you're not seeing the Guardians of the Galaxy, like you're not seeing all the members meet each other. When you get in the game, it gives you that impression that the team is like really green. They like kind of just formed. They kind of feel like they just kind of they just kind of put a title on this band of different people from different backgrounds, and you feel that off rip. And honestly, the story is pretty simple, and it's actually really easy to digest. I mean, just like not giving away too much, but you start the game off and you're traveling through the quarantine zone looking for like a rare animal for a lady thick vendor. Okay, that was corny. But yeah, looking for something to turn in for. I'm gonna assume credits for Lady Hellbender. She has like a space zoo with a bunch of like exotic animals. So you guys are trying to collect a crazy animal for her, and obviously Nova Corps catch you guys in the quarantine zone, which you guys are obviously not supposed to be in, and y'all get locked up. And the leader or like the captain of the ship that you guys get locked up on, Star Lord, he is like some kind of alien player, so he obviously is messing with her. So they got history. So basically, she lets him off and says, basically, like, you got to pay this debt or pay this fine. And if not, we're putting this tracker in your ship. And yeah, y'all going to be in a lot of trouble. And like, that's pretty much all I'm going to go away for like the exact story. Because basically, you guys are kind of just like, trying to find credits to pay off this fine. And, basically find a way to give this, I guess, Lady Hellbender, she's nuts. Well, I don't guess. I've seen it. She's nuts. So you guys are trying to find a way to like give her and satisfy her with what she needs. And basically from that point forward, the story just goes down. Like that's the early of the game, but the story goes down way more. It gets way more in depth from that point. That's just kind of like, that's kind of like the gist of the story. But really, like what I liked about the game is it actually surprisingly had a lot of individual character development. Like, as the game progresses, you see how this team, like not only on an individual base, but you start seeing how the team becomes more of like a family. Because I kind of feel like in the beginning, the beginning of the game, the team's kind of more green. Kind of feels like more of a business relationship. Like they all come together to make credit, and maybe not, I guess, because they all have their own rooms in the ship and stuff. But it feels like they're not like at least for the whole team, they're not really a full blown family yet. But I said as the story continues, they get more unified. And actually, when the story wraps up, you start seeing the difference from you go back and play chapter one. You see the difference from chapter one till the last chapter, which is 16, how much different the team is. And that's good, you actually, and it feels kind of organic too. I don't feel like it's forced. Like just one thing happens, and like now I know where they're like, oh, I love everyone. You guys are all great. But the best part about the story, and this is gonna be a hot take. I'm gonna say it right now, dude. The characters in the game are better than the characters in the movie. I'm being honest with you. They're better than the MCU characters. Star-Lord, let's start there. It's hard for me to say it out loud, but I think he might be better than Chris Pratt Star-Lord. Like, I don't know why. Like, I know the MCU Star-Lord, Chris Pratt. I love Chris Pratt. Great guy. Funny dude. But I feel like, you know him as Chris Pratt. So, he's going to obviously be funny. And I feel like less of the jokes land with Chris Pratt. And, like I guess Chris Pratt can be debatable, but I think Chris Pratt's better as Star Lord. Gamora, she is better than Gamora in the movie, and that's facts. Okay, I believe that is facts because Gamora in the movie is kind of more so stern and serious, where Gamora in the game is just like got more personality. I don't know. She feels like more loyal. I don't know. I guess they're dating in the movie, so like she's pretty loyal in the movie too. But I don't know. But like it's not really it's not a romantic relationship between Star Lord and Gamora in the game. It's more so like it feels like more of a actual like friend. Like I don't know. It's weird. I like Gamora better in the game. Like she talks more. She like makes jokes, talks shit a little bit. Where Gamora in the movie is kind of more so stern. Gamora has her moments in the movie, but she's a little more serious. And Groot is better. Let me say adult Groot is better in the game than the movie. Like adult Groot is great in the game. Like he still has the I am Groot. That's all he says. But like he'll say it with like different tones of voice, so you'll kind of get what he's talking about. Like if he's laughing or making a joke, he'll kind of giggle out or laugh out the I am Groot. Like you can kind of tell like it's almost like it's easier to interpret what he's talking about in the game, even though like and then in the game only person that can understand him is Rocket, whereas in the movie like everyone can speak Groot. And but like the fact that it's just Rocket that can understand him, and that like his like basically his translator will not pick up his language because like he's like the last of his kind and shit, like that's dope. I like that because in the end, you still have no idea what he's talking about. Like, but you can kind of tell from how he's talking. And now, the most complicated character is who I didn't really form an opinion with 100% off rip is Rocket. Rocket is somebody in the game first. When I first started playing the game, Rocket was a bitch, dude. Like Rocket was annoying as hell, dude. Like everything you did in the game, that motherfucker was complaining. I think you get an option. By the way, the game has optional dialogue. Not it's like a little small changes, but it's still optional dialogue. It's pretty cool. But like I think of it one time you have an opportunity to either agree with Gamora or agree with Rocket, and I chose to agree with Gamora. And I think from that point forward, like he stopped fucking with you. Like he just everything you did, he would bitch and moan and complain. It started getting kind of annoying. I'm like, dude, every time I'm on a fucking mission, this dude's complaining. Jesus, like I was getting annoyed in reality by this like little like CGI cartoon raccoon. I was like, Jesus Christ, dude's always fucking. He might complain more in the game than in the movie. Like this dude's always. I know it's kind of his personality trait. He's like super smart, bomb engineer, mechanic, and he's always bitching, thinking he's like, the leader, but really isn't. But that's fine. But dude, he's like, it was getting kind of excessive. Like, and then he has a little moment where, like, I'm like, all right, dude, like, fuck it, bye. But he has a revelation, like, kind of later in the game, which is like a real moment for him, kind of just not thinking about just himself or not just Groot, doing something for somebody that wasn't just him or Groot. And like, he like had like a change of heart, but it wasn't like too dramatic. It was like kind of organic, and you could tell that he was different at that point. And you start fucking with Rocket a little bit better, and like, and then in the end, I think that Rocket in the game is better than Rocket in the movie. Like, he's better than Bradley's Rocket. And the last character I'm talking about, which is obviously the last member of the team, who I'm kind of on the fence with, but I think I might like him better in the game. I just, I like it's well, obviously it's talking about Drax. Drax, okay, he's tough to say he's better in the game than the movie because I really like Batista. Such a weird casting that turned out to be so great. But Drax the Destroyer in the movie is really good. But Drax the Destroyer in the game is also really fucking good. And I'm like, damn, dude, I don't know which one is better. But I don't know. I think I might side with the game again because some reason, like, Drax in the game, like, he has a moment that you like really feel. You're like, damn, bro, like, I can understand why this moment is haunting you. Like, it said the game gets kind of deep. You kind of like, damn, like, I was not expecting this. In the moment in the game, I'm like, yo, it's understandable, why he is making these choices he's making. And he's like almost like, you kind of get like a little bit more of a human side on him. And like, he's pretty silly. He's still super literal. Like, he like, it's actually in the startup screen, it's pretty dope. Like, he has a book in front of him. And it's like literally saying like sarcasm. Like, try to understand sarcasm. Which is like a really cool character trait of Drax. Really, they're all written very well. And like, you know what? I mean, besides the music cues in Guardians of the Galaxy 1, the MCU, like, the music cues in that movie were absolutely excellent. I honestly had a soundtrack like a nerd. But I think other than that, I'm going to say it, hot take. I think the game is better than the movies. Like, literally. Like, the original story, I think literally, I don't know if it was based off a comic book, but it's not based off the MCU. And I think literally the game is better than the movie. And it's my story, and I'm sticking to it. The stories overall, from the movies to the game, which is better than me. I'll be honest. The story was on point. Really enjoyed it. Really got engulfed in the story. And last thing I'm gonna touch on, not too long, but it's gonna be obviously the gameplay. And the gameplay, in my opinion, was cool. Like, I expected like a typical, like kind of like arcadey superhero license type of gameplay, because especially with the lock-on aim. And I was kind of like, this isn't going to be good. This is probably where the game falls short. And I was kind of incorrect. I guess you say the gameplay could be where it falls short, because it does eventually get kind of played out, because the game, I beat the game on normal, but started up in, oh, my phone's ringing. Started up in New Game Plus mode. And with that being said, like, I started New Game Plus mode, I started up harder, and it really wasn't that hard. It wasn't really that difficult. It actually ended up being pretty simple. The characters so far, I haven't beat it yet. The characters, they're more so bullet sponges than like difficult. But just, it wasn't that bad playing just a Star-Lord and giving commands to the other teammates. Was not bad. It also I'm gonna lose my train of thought. I'm tripping. But like, it was cool. Like you said, giving the team commands. You can kind of like, get synergy and kind of get like combos with the teammates. Like, which I liked a lot. Like, for example, you can have Drax stagger the opponent, and then have Groot hold him down with his vines, and then have Rocket like kind of just like carpet bomb the shit out of all of them. And that's a good way to like, a good way to take out multiple enemies at once. And if you get your ass whooped and you kind of almost die, depending on like if it charged up or not, you can call a team huddle, and basically like you can motivate the team to do better. And so if you say the right thing during the huddle, you'll come out of it. You'll have everyone have their specials fully generated. You can keep spamming them on the enemy. you'll get all your health back, and that's cool, man. That's cool, and that's a good part of the gameplay. I don't mind. And every member has 4 specials, one like super special move, and that kind of casualizes the game a little bit more too, because like Groot super special makes the game really casual, but that's okay. You'll get that till later in the game. But like I said, a variety of costumes, music. You can actually like and the costumes also are collectibles, so that's pretty rewarding because you go around, you find things, collect them, and you can wear them. It's pretty dope. And there's a lot of costumes actually, especially for Star Lord. And music. There's music on the Mantis, which is like the hub world, the ship, and it's like real licensed music. So if you're a streamer, that shit probably suck. But I don't stream, so yeah. But that slaps. The workbenches come with a variety of perks. Star Lord's elemental pistols that evolve throughout the game. Those slap. I mean, they got little every now and then. There's a couple of Mantis flying missions. Those aren't bad. Optional dialogue, kind of gives it a Mass Effect vibe. Just literally I love this game. I just can't lie. I mean, I could say so much shit about it. I really don't. I mean, I can wrap it up here. The game was really a pleasant surprise. I mean, I was not expecting it. I mean, once I heard the reviews were doing pretty good, I was like, all right, this thing might be just like a little less mid than I thought. Wasn't mid, actually very good. It can honestly, I think it could be a game near contender. I'm being dead serious. And not because like some people say that like, oh, it's been that's how the game, the year's been weak. Even if it was a strong year, I think it'd be up there because the game was that good to me. I mean, like I said, I think I enjoyed it more than I should have, honestly. Presentation was great, characters great, story is great, was enjoyable. Like I said, after a while, by the time you get to chapter like 13, 14, you get up there, the gameplay kind of, once you unlock everything, the gameplay does kind of it just kind of just subsides a little bit. It kind of hits its peak, but it's still not horrible. It's very bearable. I almost, tell you the truth, don't even want a sequel to the game because I don't want them to like just end up trying too hard to be funny and live up to the first one and mess the second one up, which in turn kind of messes the first one up. It just I rather just them not mess with it all. But yeah, last thing I'm gonna say, if you own a PC or next gen consoles, pick this game up. I believe like especially like superhero games, pick it up. Easy recommendation. Easy recommendation. Ice cream, light work. This game is great. And it's like I said, and it's very like you can pick it up, probably take you about 12 to 15 hours. I don't know how long it took me. I look at my playthrough run, but maximum probably depending on how much you really are searching. If maybe I guess you run a little bit New Game Plus, 20 hours max you get out of it. So it's a linear single player game, traditional single player game with actual levels. Like, I haven't played one of those I don't know how long, and it's great. It's literally great. Very good story, cinematic, everything. Character development, as a team development, it's everything. Most definitely give this game a recommendation. 2 thumbs up. But yeah, it's been Sir Neville's. It's starting to get more corny the more I say it. But yeah, just checking in, busting these games out. Everyone have a pleasant evening.